Make it so.
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
What is going on here, number one? Engage!
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
For a bit of cheese.
Slow to impulse speed.
It is broken. Can you make it go?
Stay calm, everyone. What is going on here, number one?
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
Strange.
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
I shouldn't be so confident.
I'm picking up an unusual disturbance in the nearby quadrant.
Oh, yes, it's
calm,
it's
everyone.
for the children. I'm I'm a role model.
I shouldn't be so confident. Engage! On screen.
What the hell is going on? I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
Strange.
Make it so.
I don't know.
No response, sir.
Enlarge and identify. In my opinion, sir, they're gibberish.
I'm picking up an unusual disturbance in the nearby quadrant.
Engage! Move to intercept.
I shouldn't be so confident. Slow to impulse speed.
I would rather outthink them than outfight them.
Slow to impulse speed.
Stay calm, everyone.
I shouldn't be so confident.
Let's investigate.
Not good enough, damn it! Not good enough!
Engage! Let's investigate. Engage.
Slow to impulse speed.
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
I would rather outthink them than outfight them.
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
I don't know.
We must intervene.
Slow to impulse speed. What the hell is going on?
I'm picking up an unusual disturbance in the nearby quadrant.
On screen. Make it so.
Damn it. I can't stop the heterocyclic declination.
We need a biomolecular physiologist in here. This man is dying.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live in Technicolor from the beautiful Hollywood Hills, California. The show where the total retail price of their advice is $0. This is Timelines Talk. Featuring guest stars. The fact of the matter is, oh my, it stars and garters. Also featuring, more like Command Dips Suck, look out, it's Automaton 2000. And now, there's no way he gets this intro right. Here's your host, Captain Idol.
Ho ho ho! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another fantastic episode of Star Trek Timelines Talks. No, that's not our official title, it's just Timelines Talks. We are the
I was literally about to ask, how do you know it's going to be fantastic? We haven't even done the episode yet, and then you did that, and you further cemented it will not be fantastic.
I've already made it fantastic. The number one premium exclusive show for all things Star Trek Timelines. I am Captain Idol. I am joined as always by Stars and Garters, and unfortunately Otto couldn't make it this week, so it is just the two of us this week. Yeah,
we can make it if we try.
We can, yeah. I hear the crystal raindrops will know. Quick shout out to this week's poll winner, Walt Koenig, who came up with the fantastic title of "We'll Always Have Laris," and I think he was on our Discord, which you can join on the link below. We have a little poll every week produced the episode title, and he just put this up first time and went, "That's already the winner." Like everyone else put votes in, but that was like, yeah. As soon as I saw it, like, yeah, that's the title.
I feel like I have to put in an honorable mention for what I voted for. No offense to Walk, because his suggestion was excellent, but Skycaps, I always get an O in reference to Wesley's art. That one really made me laugh. I thought that one was perfect.
Yeah. Other submissions: Evans of Wales, "Don't burn the ham pie." Luxie's, which I quite liked, "A Laris a day keeps the Zatvash away." Cold came up with "Little Boy Blue" and the Petite Number One. Noble and DK with "Blue Hawaii," and Green Javelin with "The Invasion of the Berry Pie Eaters." Let's talk about. We'll get on to Wesley and all the glory, and I think. Check mic gain. Am I a bit low again? I'm often having this. Let me.
To be fair, you seem to be like pitched a bit lower usually.
Yeah, I'll whack myself up here. See, let me know if that's any better, chat. What was I talking about? Yeah, we'll get to Wesley and that fantastic art, and I think Auto's kind of regretting not going to be here because I think he wanted to talk extensively about how much he loves that card. But we'll get onto that as time goes on. I have never seen such a. This is the Marmite of Star Trek crew. Some people absolutely love it. Some people absolutely hate it. So yeah.
It feels like that kind of division where it's like, are you the kind of Star Trek fan who is like, I'm trying to think of the perfect lightning in the bottle. Do you like Fairhaven? And then someone says, "Yes, I hate it," and because they like it, or "No, I hate it," and it's like you get that case of, are you one of those Star Trek fans who can take how stupid it is? Or are you one of the ones who's like, "This is embarrassing"? And I think for most people, if you can jive with how stupid it can be, you're gonna enjoy that art. Or maybe you're just creeped out by it. That's a totally valid option. I will not tell anyone that you are wrong for disliking Will Wheaton's O-Face.
Okay, I've just has complaints that I was too high, in fact, so I've turned myself down. If that's any better, let me know.
Keep on cranking down.
Yeah,
I can still hear you. Just gotta go lower.
Thanks, buddy. Event winners this week. We've got a couple of events to go through. We're winning the rerun, the flashback for Awasican. Admiral Brody was the winner, and also in number 1 and number 6, because I've had 2 accounts, Brody and Admiral Brody, 2 top 10 ranks. God, that's no. What are you on about? And that was a
it's
galaxy.
Easier to do with a faction, yeah. Was it a galaxy?
It was a galaxy, I think.
I have such a hard trouble keeping up with it.
We just played a galaxy. Oh, no, wait, no.
Wishikan was a faction, I remember, because I had to throw half my tokens out the window.
I don't remember what I had for breakfast. Okay, so shout out to DTI Black Knight at 26 and Suncoast's own Gazoo at 35. And for this week's just gone event for Kawat Malot Burn Mum, Weberoni was the winner at number 1 for your 5 copies, and obligatory shout outs to Admiral Tatum at number 7 and Suncoast Gazoo again at number 28. So you're rocking it this couple of weeks. Two top 50 finishes for you.
Yeah, well, to be fair, they probably chose those spots strategically, because I can't imagine many people were going nuts for these cards. Like, Wishikan is older, has been in quite a few rerun packs. We've had like 2 honor sales since she dropped, even though she's still quite good. And Burn Mom was not inspiring. But, guess what? Like, she has her uses. Even maybe she'll get the actual collection she deserves. And I'm sure maybe she'll turn up in future episodes and guarantee more event wins for more bad cards. But, whatever.
Well, at least DC Pilot's getting some use out of that 5/5 displaced Gabriella Burnham. So
he was playing the long game. He got all those collections, and he got use of her during that Survivalist Mega. So maybe we were the assholes all along for not seeing the truth.
Well, as he would say,
you think he gets used if he gets fused?
There you go.
There we go.
Okay, so big announcement. So I've been sort of shouting this out to high heavens on our Twitter, on the various Discords as well. But yes, this is the last show we're going to do on YouTube Live. We're going to move back over to Twitch because we started on Twitch. Had technical problems. I think I've probably sorted all that out now because I've been streaming a few things on Twitch now. We're going to go back to that, mainly because Twitch is just a little bit better for functionality. There's a few things we're going to do for guys on viewing live. There'll be some fun things you can do there, some commands you can play with. I've been setting a few things up, like earning Latinum and getting inventory and raffles and things like that. But also, you'll be able to do some fun commands if you're a follower, including
for a bit of cheese.
For a bit of cheese. Things like that. I mean, Stars can already add in comments, so he can do that. But I'm adding some Spocks to come on the screen now, so let me run this one. So apologies to podcast listeners who won't see this, but you can run a little command, and a little Spock will turn up on the screen and phase a Stars in the face there if you if you choose to. So
I feel like you have to ask, for those of us who are our loyal listeners, the Twitch will still be turned into a podcast?
It will, yes. We'll still have the podcast. Okay, YouTube will still be the location for the rewatching old shows, because obviously Twitch has a 14-day override, whereas all shows will automatically go to YouTube. So even if you miss it, you still have the same YouTube links. So if you want to follow on, if you want to get the alerts, link above, twitch.tv/timelinestalks, go and follow. Yeah, we'll be over there as of Saturday, because Saturday we're running our Star Trek Adventure stream with Stars here, GMing for the first time, which I'm really excited about because I really want to play the game. So from there,
I think we're going to have a lot of fun with that. That's going to be good fun.
I know a lot of people don't like YouTube's ways of having to create an alt account so you don't get your real name out there, so that'll be a bit of a relief for some people as well. You can use your in-game name, so that'll be a bit more fun. It's just there's a lot of things, like a lot of tools that I'm going to be using and things like that, just make it a lot easier than YouTube as well. And Twitch does just GIFs, does it? I don't know, actually. I think it does. There's a lot of emojis.
I think you can have animated emojis and stuff like that. There's a ton more functionality on Twitch, just because it's a much more robust streaming platform, even though it has numerous issues, but, so does YouTube in its way.
There is no perfect... there's no perfect service, but you just sort of pick the way you go, and I think that'll be fun. So just to alert, next show will be on Twitch, so head over there and start following on. You might see Spock turning up in the show on this middle screen saying "Live long and prosper." That's our little Twitch alert to say, "Hey, someone's following." I programmed in today, so that'll be fun. Okay. So, should we talk about? Let's take a diversion. Usually we go, let's talk about crew and all these things. We have a new campaign. So we've just had 120 tiers for Jet Reno and Grey. The new campaign coming out, which is Twilight to Pol, and if I load up on here, oh gosh, my cameras are all screwed up. Twilight to Pol and sorry, I haven't actually set up this scene since we last did it. Twilight to Pol and Field Marshal of Q. And do you know what this says to me, Stars? This says get some new Gauntlet crew before hang on a second. That one, there we go. Get some new Gauntlet crew before Balok hits, isn't it, really? Because this is very much a Gauntlet-centered campaign.
I think it's even called, not throwing down the Gauntlet, but Gauntlet is in the title. And it's a really good value campaign, actually. These are both really good Gauntlet cards. Twilight to Pol basically functions as kind of a discount defensive flock. Sometimes you'll bring her when you won't bring him, because she'll have different antimatter, different crit traits. Marshal of France Q gets in on all kinds of 45 and 65% gauntlets with an actually decent command roll. And they have their own other utilities, like a load of collections. And I don't know about you, but Twilight to Pol has been a real help through a lot of the megas, because there was the Vulcan, Astrophysicist, Caregiver, tons of these mega. She was almost Martia-like in terms of, this is a crew I have fully fused. Lucky. I don't know if any of them are dupe-worthy, if any of you already have them finished. I'm probably going to just airlock the extra copies I have, because I have them both finished. But especially for a newer player, if you were to jump into Timelines this month and be like, I can get Field Marshal Q 4 out of 4, that's a good starting lineup crew. That's a good crew.
No, he's great. I mean, he's 3 collections as well, which, you will need him for the Q Continuum collection, but he's also inspiring a costume party. That's a great sort of a little bump up in 3 collections for one crew. I mean, if you don't have him already, but if you've sort of been skipping him for whatever reason, throwing him out, this is a good chance to come and, actually finally take him, get him and finish him, because, I don't think I've used him in Gauntlet much, but then I don't know if I've had the combinations recently I think I've been on the wrong side of the Gauntlet layout to actually use him properly. But Twilight to Pol,
I've used them every now and then. And he does suffer from being one of those 3 skillers who's actually more like a 2 skiller, like Mirajonic Picard or Mambo Picard. But especially if you're early game, like that kind of massive command role is like godlike. And it can still like pinch hit in quite a few circumstances because like you can throw him into gauntlets with like Kalis and he will at least be able to give you a fighting chance. But yeah. Like it's good value. I will miss having that second citation at the end. Like the 120 tier is always it's nice when they do it. I'm not quite sure what the logic is behind when they're doing it versus when they're not, but we can only hope they keep on doing it every now and then.
If they do that for every 2 skiller they put in, because they did it for Rurapenthe Kirk, didn't they? That was the one. So it's Rurapenthe got Medic Jet Reno. So say, we're going to put a 2 skiller in. We know you guys don't like these, so have an extra sight. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but then that would be admitting that some of the crew that they're selling us on subpar, and they wouldn't have to do that.
Outrageous! All goals are equal. That's terrible. How could you say that?
Well, guess what? When you airlock them, they give you the same amount of honor, and they cost the same amount of honor to finish.
That's very true. All goals are equal. So yeah.
Yes, Cartwright is just as good as Breast, you heard it here first, folks. That's the hard-hitting journalism that we bring to you.
Yeah. But no, I like Twilight T'Pol. This is she's just fallen out of Void use for me, but I know like for a lot of people, a 4 or 5 T'Pol would be worth the site to put on if you're thinking I need to push up my Medsec, my Medsci. I think that's a good little sort of. I think she gets a few rare seats. I know Namer will be able to tell us who.
Astrophysicist, is the one that like there are a lot of oddball astrophysicists where it's like I don't have anyone who can fill the seat. That's why people were gunning for the new Burnmon because she qualifies for that. And it's like, other than that, it's like what maybe Away Team Burnham is like one of the only other ones of decent Void power that you would use there. I think she's like Void rank 200 and something, but it's like
200, yeah.
For a med primary with a sec anywhere in that combination, that goes a lot further than you'd think. And especially because, like, unless you're someone like me or Idle or Auto who always goes for every med sec card that appears, you have to take them where you can get them.
Yeah. If you've missed out on, like, if you've sort of played in, I don't know, the last year and you missed kind of the mid-ascents of 2020, where we had, like, Pollard and the Reverend Flox campaign. If you missed all
and stuff like that,
a lot of sort of, Tactical Officer Neelix as well. If you've kind of missed out on all of those and you need someone just to fill the gaps, this is definitely one you should have. Absolutely. Not that we ever say please spend money on this game, but if you were weighing up cost price against
the community, they've come to a kind of a conclusion that don't chase 6-packs. Like no one will tell you in good faith to do that, but if you're going to spend money on the game, do it in a sensible way and get your monthly card and get your campaign, and try and abstain past that. Otherwise, you're going into a road that I can't follow.
That needs to be a trigger.
Are we gonna throw a little Lord of the Rings quotes in here now?
Oh no, just put everything in it. Fuck it. I mean, I've added a load of new ones. I've got this one in here as well.
I am fully functional.
Because we're going
in honor of our new collection.
In honor of our new collection. Before we go on to the new collection, let's have a quick chat about, since we're talking about gauntlets. Turn that off and turn on this one. Oh, hang on. There we go, because we haven't got crew art yet. Balok is going to be the new Gauntlet crew. New Gauntlet exclusive crew available from the 13th, I believe it was, which is in just under a week.
Yes.
And I think everyone's ideas of Balok would be a different skill sets, but he came out and said, "Oh, it's command, dip, sec." So I know I remember like a lot of eyes rolling at that. However, I think there is an upside here. As if you look below, we've got a little bit of a breakdown, and this is thanks to No Namer for his amazing breakdowns of crews that he gives for us as well. He is the number one command dip in 47 gaunt. I mean, there is one caveat to this. These stats were given by Shan are not final. This may change, so we'll see how it goes. But at the moment, number one command dip in 47 different gauntlets. Number one command sec in 13 gauntlets, and so on. He has 45%ers. That's not bad for the skill set.
Oh no, that's really like, because to clarify what it means when it says like 47 gauntlets, this means 47 different trait sets.
Sorry.
So places where Kalis doesn't get bonus, places where Marshal of Q doesn't get like a bonus, he would be, because of the pure strength of his rolls, the best option to take there, completely neutral. And like having a crew that performs this well across this many gauntlets consistently, what you assume he's going to be consistent. Obviously, like I imagine there's going to be people who are going to tell me that he's overrated, just like Locutus. But whatever. It's a game of luck. Anyone can perform like anyone in these circumstances. But having that kind of I can just throw them in there completely, and know that they will perform well. There's a lot of value to that, because otherwise you're chasing, hey, look, I've got 45% now. Do they have good rolls? No.
Chat, tell me, and stars in chat, tell me something here, because he skirts very close to Kalis. He is very sort of in those same kind of arenas. Would you, let's say you're lucky enough to get Balok, and you had the choice where he was at 5%, because I know Kalis has his definite 65%ers, and Balok will as well, but, if you have the choice of 5%, you go, I need a big command hitter here. Who is your choice to take here?
Now, I imagine that the numbers are going to tell me that I'm wrong, but I would probably pick Kalis most of the time just because I'm a person of habit, and I do also just really like the art. That being said, we haven't seen whether or not Balok is really, really cool looking either, so maybe that will change. But I feel like, judging by the non-final stats, I don't think there's actually a massive difference between the two themselves. It's not a case of if you throw Balok and Kalis into a completely neutral gauntlet against each other, Balok's going to win every time. It's probably going to be a case of the same coin flipper that it is when it's hey, do you want to fight Gowron with Locutus? It's that's going to be a coin flip. It's the rolls are close enough that they will perform identically in most circumstances. And I've seen a lot of people worrying, is this going to affect Kalis really badly? And I feel like it's definitely a chink against his the armor, essentially, where it's he used to be the number one gauntlet crew in the game, essentially. Locutus was there, but Kalis always had the advantage of you could buy him at any time, and he was always available. And I think to a degree he still has that market cornered, because let's not forget, I went 6 to 9 months without getting a single Red Angel, and that meant I had to get by with people like Interface LaForge or whatever. And it's if I were in that situation and I could just buy, someone who performed like Red Angel, that would have probably made those months of Gauntlet a little bit less frustrating. And he also has the added benefit of being Klingon and inspiring. He has some oddball traits that are cool. He's still a good Voyager. And he's also just he's got that cool place in Trek mythology where I think Otto has talked at length about just how cool fucking Kalis is. Kalis and Surak, they're those characters that you see them in an episode and you're like, oh, we're finally going to go down that route and find out what makes this person special. And I think we did I don't know if you got up on screen or not. Yeah, look at Balok's voyage rank. So, yes, he performs similarly to Kalis in terms of Gauntlet, not so much in terms of base or in voyage power.
Sorry. I had to do it.
No, I can't fault you. So it's a case of, I think that Kalis is still going to be a worthwhile investment, more so than definitely more so than Captain Beverly. Whether or not more so than Nanoprobe Flox is going to be a case of what you want to invest there. But I still think he's a pretty... If I were a bank and I wasn't trying to fleece my customers, I would tell them to invest in the Kalis fund or whatever.
I've always said, for any player, you get your first 100k, just get Kalis. That is... He's more... I spent a long time not having him, and I wish I had him. I wish my first 100k had just gone straight on him rather than, say, 2 sites, There's...
Well, I was thinking about this, and it's I think about it in terms of this, right? So 100k translates into 2.5 ABCs, or what we know as Behold plus sites, as you've seen from the recent Honor sale. And depending on your luck in that, those Beholds, you could get absolute shit ass garbage. You could get
have done numerous times.
Yes, exactly.
Shit, that's loud. Sorry. Hang on.
Yeah, no, that is loud.
Live long and prosper.
Thank you for following a Shadow Child 17.
Oh god, it's going again. Yeah. Oh god, I'm distracted now. What was I saying?
Might have to tweak that.
Yeah, no, that broke me out of my train of thought. That's impressive. You should just play that whenever I'm rambling. That really works.
These tangents.
Shut up.
Let me just kill the volume.
What was I saying?
I don't know.
What was I saying? Oh god, I'm dying. My brain is just melting. Right, yes, sorry, yes. So you could get 2 potentially really garbage like beholds and then 2 sites. And if you think about what that would get you in the early game, unless you got like a Braxton and I don't know, like Lucon right out of the gate, chances are they would not have as much of an effect on your long-term enjoyment of the game as having a copy of Kalis who can voyage for you, even like late game, who can gauntlet straight out of the gate, who can do all these other things. It's like he's still a worthwhile investment, and I think for 100k, for most people, he would still be a bargain, really, in terms of what you're getting.
Do right. I mean, if anything, for the collection chasers, Klingon and Inspiring are 2 of one of the toughest. Well, Inspiring is apart from Physician, is the toughest collection in the game. That's solid. Like. Having a dent in that and something useful, as opposed to like Balok, which is like, okay, you'll get him, but he is just Gauntlet. Like you look at Locutus. Yeah. Locutus is his collection. He's a Picard variant. He's got no voiding power, but he has got Gauntlet usage. But he'll get plenty of events. You look at Red Angel, same thing. It's a Burnham. It's a good She's a good Voyager. Guinan, I think, is pretty much aged out, apart from her 65% triplet. But, you know...
She's like a rank 90 Voyager, which still isn't bad for her. Again, someone with a bit of MedSec doesn't hurt.
Absolutely. And who else is in... Who else? Oh, Caretaker, still great Eng-Med, still got his, still worth having a few of him. But, like, Balok is kind of like... He is just Gauntlet. He's not going to get events, is he? I don't know. I didn't actually... Did Shan post this traits? I don't think she did.
I believe she did.
Let me have a look. I will have to.
Because otherwise, we wouldn't have all these Gauntlet metrics.
That's
of
a
what
very
he's
good point.
Performing well as.
Yeah.
I think he has stuff like Explorer, Civilian, Crafty, stuff like that. Like they're relatively like boilerplate, but there's a lot of them, and I could see like some of them getting like some bonuses. So, they've run bonuses for Temporal Agent, for God's sake. I'm sure he'll get an event at some point down the line.
Yeah. So it's like,
and let's be real. Yeah. He'll be worth grabbing anyway, just because like Gauntlet collection is worth like 5 other thresholds in other collections, so worth it just for that alone.
I just need one more Red Angel, and I've got that. I mean, I know plenty of people that don't have a single Red Angel, or they'll have some weird things. They'll have like, I've got 3 dupe Locutuses, but not a single Guinan. There's RNG is weird, man. Like, it will never work for you if you wanted to. So
you never
see Balok. This may be an entirely hypothetical conversation, but he is essentially Gauntlet only, I would say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'd agree with that.
Cool. Okay.
But he's cool.
He is cool.
Like, it's really nice that we're having a TOS character in Gauntlet finally, because we've had like a ton of TNG, we had a Voyager, we had a Discovery, and it's like having a TOS, and not mention like a relatively iconic one. Like I think wasn't the Balok puppet like all over the end credits for most of the second and third seasons?
Absolutely.
Like that's what when people think of Star Trek, they tend to think of Balok and that kind of like the reversal of the typical invader sort of like storyline where it's like, oh no, he just wants a friend. He's just a friendly guy.
Want some training? Sit down, have a drink, let's talk. He's just Clive Howard. Yeah. One of Clive Howard's many appearances in Star Trek, which I didn't realize. He was one of the Ferengi in the Enterprise episode with Ethan Phillips, and the other one was someone else that's quite big in Trek, and I forget who it was. Chat, please save me. But that was Clint Howard. No, Clint Howard? Clive Howard? I forget which one. No, it's Clint Howard, isn't it?
Clint Howard.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was one of those, and I didn't even realise until the other day.
I still think my favourite appearance by him is in Discovery. Like, I thought that was such a fun appearance.
Try some of this.
A lot of fun.
It's Tilly High.
Like that. Like people give Discovery a lot of guff for not being like Trek-ish, but it's like that felt very Trek. Just like Ensign getting stoned on an alien planet. Like, come on, that's Trek 101.
No, no, Balok's cool. It is good to see that Gauntlet is keeping up the tradition of just weird little characters. So, you got Caretaker and Guinan and Armus. Armus was the one I was forgetting.
Yes.
Armus and Balok would be a good bridge crew.
Yeah, no, there's always tons of possibilities. I'm really curious to see what the art for him will be, whether or not it'll just be the puppet, or it'll just be the kid, or if it will be some kind of combination of the two. Like, there's a lot of possibilities you go here, but they've been pretty on the ball with their Gauntlet art. Like they've been doing pretty good on that front. And I don't know if you want a transition, but
go on.
Speaking of really, really good art, I don't know if you have the pictures they put for the new data.
Yes, I do. Let's turn Balok off. Yes, let's move on, and we'll segue this from talking a little bit about data, and we'll talk also about the Android collection, which has just hit, which was promised by Ben back in the interview we did a few weeks back. Yes, we have an Android collection, which is quite a small one, quite a tough one. And
quite small, but quite functional.
Very, in fact, it is. I'm on the wrong page. I haven't quite synced up these cards yet. Actually, you can do it. You can type fully functional into the chat.
I was literally about to do it.
I am
There you go.
fully functional.
The main reason we're going to Twitch is so Stars can have control over the chat commands. There we go. I think this is my favourite. Sorry, I have to sidetrack here. My favourite new one that I've actually set up is this one.
Damn it. I can't stop the heterocyclic declination.
We need a biomolecular physiologist in here. This man is dying.
So bad.
We talk about the height of drama. Man is dying.
Okay, Musketeer data. We have almost a full set now of Hollow Pursuit's
We
crew. We're missing Riker.
are now... Yeah, Riker's the only one, I'm pretty sure.
Because we have...
What about Geordie? Oh, we have Geordie. Yeah, we have Geordie. Yeah.
Geordie
He's literally the only one then, yeah.
Yeah, so the last one. So yeah, and you're right. This art is amazing.
It's so good. It's
Really good.
so ornate and bright and colourful, and the expression on his face is pitch perfect. I fucking adore it. I will forgive the fact that it's a 2-skiller and it's a purple for the fact of just how good it looks. It's so good.
It's stunning. Like, I think when we do our end of year awards again, I will definitely put this in the category for best art of the year, because this is like it's 100% captures the character. Like, he's got that smug grin and just like, haha, I am a programmed imagination of Barclay's ego, and it's lavish. And yeah, like you say, we can forgive this as being a 2-skiller. I honestly don't care. Like, you're going to use him in data events regardless, and he is in 3 collections. He is veteran. He is, for some reason, inspiring and also fully functional.
I mean, he inspires us, so
he does. The art itself is inspiring. But yes, no, you're right, Walt King. And data with no engineering or psi, which is strange. But I can kind of see where they're going with this, because he is a hologram. So he is not the real Data. He is basically a hologram version of Data, just being like, haha, I am...
well, it's the same logic as with Frank Hollander, where it's like it's not him acting in his normal... I mean, it's not even Data's consciousness, it's just a facsimile, so I'm perfectly fine with it. And it means that you get a bit more variability in like faction events, and you can have people to actually put in data sheets, where it's like, otherwise you haven't got like command and sec, where it's like, well, who am I going to put here? And it's like, I guess I'll shove Parwraith Keiko on another shuttle.
Yes. You have one job. Yes. Trey makes a good point. Yeah, he does look like he is wearing the Guy Fawkes mask, so this is
he does a bit, doesn't he? Yeah.
It's very V for Vendetta. D for Data. No, okay.
D for Vendetta?
Maybe. Keep going. Keep working on it.
No,
We'll workshop this. You keep spitting out. Data. Sorry, it's data. Sorry about that. But yeah, no, we have the Android collection. This is kind of timely.
Speaking of which, how did he rank in that Uhura event?
Uhura event, which one was that? We had a Uhura event? Oh, I didn't. I got very low. I had to even remember what that was.
I got 15,000.
Yeah, I think I was something I got to threshold, so I was like 4,000 something. But yeah, like, I have the cards, I might as well use them. Trey, sorry, now that it's been seen, it cannot be unseen. Yes, you've now ruined Data for us. We're all hyped going into this. Now all I can see is a freaking Frank, whatever his name, novel.
Now I'm just going to see this Data and imagine Hugo Weaving's voice coming out of him. And guess what? That only makes it better.
Word. Okay, I might have to do that for a bit. Just replace all the dialogue from V for Vendetta with the Musketeer from Hollow Pursuits.
Oh, there you go. Just like complete role switch.
Yeah.
Have the bit from the holodeck, and it's just like Hugo Weaving quotes from The Matrix.
Mr. Barkley. Yeah. A brief aside on the Android collection. Just to note, this is a tough collection because there aren't that many super rare or less cards. I think Lieutenant Commander Data is the only 2-star crew. There isn't a 1-star or a 3-star. Correct me if I'm wrong. No, I think it's just literally that one. So you're going to rely on super rares. There's only so you'll need 14 golds to complete it, basically. The majority of this collection is gold crew. There is only 2 super rares that are not in the portal. One of these is Android Mud, the other one is Musketeer Data here as well, and likely not to be in the next portal update. So if you didn't grab Android Mud, definitely grab Musketeer Data because you're going to need them. But there's only 1 gold that is not in the portal that will be in the next, well, hopefully will be in the next portal update, and that's Carlos Data. So you can do it with existing, if you're looking over your roster and going, oh hey, I've got the enough crew.
Oh, activated Daj as well. She's not part of the tour yet either.
Oh no, that's true. Actually, I forgot her. I'm wrong. There is 2.
I will never forget about her because I am still salty about losing that event.
Oh, you did, didn't you? Oh.
By like 10 places, I was furious.
What was your rank on that? 1501 or something?
It was literally like 1510 or something like that. I would have gotten it if not for having been at work at the end. So I will always remember that she's not in Portal.
Yeah. But she will be soon. So you'll have her soon.
Yeah. Alright, so Idle.
Yes.
You need, like 28, 29 crew in order to finish. You need 25 in order to finish to get the final threshold, assuming no expansions. Who are the 3 or 4 androids that you miss?
That I miss? Oh, hang on, I have to check. I thought you were going to ask. I thought you were going to do it. Hey, tell me about the crew I could be getting. I'm like, well, let me show you, and then do it like a Price is Right kind of convoy with all the crew. Let me have a look. Who am I missing? I think I've got all the crew to finish it. But I think,
well, let me put it in a more actual way that humans talk. Who do you not want to finish for this collection?
Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, I've already finished Frank Hollander, so that one's out of the picture, and that was not by choice.
Costumed Western, I feel like that one is okay. Actually,
that was okay. Hang on, let me have a look. Fully functional. Who have I got? I don't want to finish the one Law, though he is Borg as well.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I don't know if you're saying these people, and it's like Ilea Probe is right there.
I don't have her, so I'm quite happy to say that I don't.
Yeah, so she's I think number 1 on the list is the one that you want to avoid, really.
Definitely.
Maybe Emotion Chip Data.
Yeah, I was going to say one of either him or HMS Pinafore are probably those two. But their datas, I can see like this week's or next week's event is pull all the datas out for a faction event. Here's the worth, Although you're only going to be sending Carlos Data in your 17 dupes, so who doesn't?
Who do you think I am?
Oh no!
What game are you playing? It's different to the one I'm in.
No, I only have the one Carlos. Yeah, it's a tough collection, but there are some good names in there. There's definitely ones you should cite if you haven't already, like Soji Asha, who was the mega a few months back, probably like a year. I don't know how time works. Warship EMA.
Now.
Yeah,
that's a depressing thought.
Warship EMA, Activated Dart, like we spoke about. Juliana Tainer as well is a great card still, and Carlos Data as well. So there's some, unlike some collections which have a lot of crap in it, like Inspiring and Physician, where you're going to have to cite or pick cards that you might not want to previously. There are actually some good ones in here. They'll get you work. So this is kind of unique for a collection.
Yeah. And it's also a case of there's going to be way more Android crew, because there will be Data crew coming out until the end of the game. Like, no one has to worry about that. I'm pretty sure that any Picard variant from season 1 onwards will count as an Android, because that would make sense to me.
Depends what they're going to do with this new season, though, because it looks very kind of, for anyone that has watched the trailer, go watch the trailer. It depends what they're going to do, because it sounds like it's going to be a bit alt universe kind of dimension hopping sliders kind of thing.
Guess what? That's cool. Star Trek doesn't do that enough, in my opinion.
No, it looks very interesting. But you've got Soji, you've got Sutra, Arcana, all the androids from the Coppelius colony. There's plenty more to have, so I'm looking forward to it.
We could still have my patented Timelines original of the lore in his Starfleet uniform, which we still don't have. We only have the shitty laws. Yeah,
there's actually lore from Data lore. All right, we'll get onto this when we get onto the fake crew, but because I think there's some of those in the pipeline somewhere. But yeah, lore in the technician's uniform, as it were.
Yeah.
Speaking of, since we're talking about Picard Season 2 trailer, which was awesome, go and watch it. I'm kind of hyped, despite how sort of lackluster Season 1 was. I'm still kind of hyped for Season 2. I think.
Okay, let me ask you a question here, right? So, I think that everyone and their mother and the internet is in agreement that Season 1 ended poorly, right? But I think that people who say that it was a bad season overall
No, I wouldn't say
are
that.
kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Because it's like, Nepenthe alone, I think,
Oh.
kind of justifies the price of entry. You get a lot of really good character work with these characters. You get some unfortunate writing choices. You always do, like, stuff like the Cheb choice I can see being controversial, but Hugh and like the Raffi stuff is awesome. I like Gerard. Like, I like a lot of the things that happen in Picard. It's a case of, yeah, it ended poorly, but it's far from the worst first season of any Star Trek show.
No, absolutely. Like it starts off very strong, like the opening and sort of dealing with Picard. Picard having his interview and dealing with where he is at that time in his life is very well done. And anything, the investigations with Laris, which we'll get onto soon, any of that, dealing with sort of Soji and her upbringing, even her and Narek's interactions on the Borg artifact are great. So I really enjoyed those parts of that. But yeah, I think like when it got to the end, and I think even the season writers were like, yeah, we should have planned an ending from the beginning because it was definitely rushed.
Yeah, no, there were a lot of loose ends that didn't quite go anywhere, and it's like, I feel like season 2 they have more of a chance to really just like hit the ground running and just like tackle a lot of interesting things. So I have faith, and it's like even the worst Star Trek Enterprise usually has some kind of silver lining or eventually hits its stride. It's just a case of be patient with it, let it grow.
Yeah. So yeah, what I was going to segue this into is what we're going to do. Like, we literally just decided to do this like 5 minutes before the show, but let's have some Star Trek news. Let's talk about some Star Trek because there is some news, and I want to sort of break it and do that kind of things with this. But yes, Anson Mount tweeted. Yes, we're going to be that kind of news. We're going to talk about tweets, which, by the way, follow our Twitter. Time Nice Talks. Anson Mount tweeted today. I'm shit at self-promotion, leave me alone. Anson Mount tweeted today that they have wrapped filming on season 1 of Strange New Worlds. So I would say there might be a trailer coming soon. Oh, wait, what's going on? I think it's just Jewel. Just type Jewel.
Oh, is it just Jewel?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Fucking type, there we go.
You Jewel, that's exactly what I hoped.
Is that you talking to Anson Mount?
No, it's me talking to you about your lack of self-promotional skills.
Yeah, no, so yeah, season 1 of Strange New Worlds has now wrapped filming, and it's exciting times. Also, Michelle Yeoh, who plays Jojo, Admiral, Captain, whichever incarnation you want of that one.
Empress, God King of the universe,
Yes. Ruler of the 9 realms, or whatever it is she was in the Terran Empire.
Holy Rings of Beta Z, who cares?
Oh god, Luaxana Troy? Has that's never been a thing yet, has it?
That hasn't been explored in, I don't think, anything. I don't know if the world is ready for it.
I think it's time. Yes, Michelle Yeoh is now been cast, and I'll tell you why this is relevant. Now been cast in a prequel series to The Witcher called The Witcher something Blood, as a character in there, which leads more to the rumours that is a Section 31 show happening. What do you like? Every time we talk, because she had an interview on the Star Trek podcast saying, they've got exciting things planned for me, and that's probably hype to say, like, don't forget about this show. But I can't help thinking that someone's forgotten about this show.
I'm wondering if maybe it's undergoing like a retooling, and instead of say a 13-episode series, we might get like maybe a 6-episode mini-series that's more akin to one of the Disney Plus shows that have been coming out, or maybe like, I don't know, like a TV movie more sort of thing, because like Discovery has shown that you can very easily do that kind of scale and like breadth on a TV budget nowadays. So maybe they're just planning on retooling it and working out exactly how they can do it and working around her schedule, because she is still a massive Hollywood icon. Like, she will be doing work,
She's in a film coming up called Gunpowder Milkshake with Lena Headey and Karen Gillan and a few other ones. That looks like your typical kind of it's an action movie, I'll watch it and I won't think about anything in it. She's in that. Yeah, she's in loads of stuff lately, so I can imagine she's going to be very busy, and that'll get downgraded from series to special to short track.
Well, don't forget, we're also apparently meant to get that Khan miniseries that's done by Nicholas Meyer. That's been in development for like 4 years, and they keep on saying it's going to happen. Well, Nicholas Meyer, obviously. Because
leave Khan alone.
I don't know. I could see potential in a thing on the actual planet, I think you could have some with like a proper tragedy. You
Look
could
at all
do
this
something
dust.
with that.
I have found this one.
Hey man, I show you fear in a handful of dust. It writes itself. Just because you don't understand classical literature like
Oh,
Milton.
I'm sorry. I am an uneducated youth. I don't understand an augmented idiot on a dusty planet. All right. Let's wrap up Star Trek news. Unless there's anything else you know.
Yeah, let's wrap it up by dumping on Ricardo Montalban, why don't we?
No, Ricardo Montalban was amazing. And yes, he was. Thank you, Walt King. He was the only Khan. He should have been the only Khan. Not that I think Benedict Cumberbatch is a bad actor.
No, hang on, who are you talking about? We don't talk about that.
No, what Into Darkness?
It didn't happen.
It didn't happen. It shouldn't have happened anyway. Even though Beyond was good. But anyway. Yes, yes. Khan is only real if it's Ricardo's real chest. Yeah, if someone can come up and say I've got Ricardo's pecs, then yeah, all right, you've got the role. If you can perform a soliloquy to a green screen, then you'll be fine.
He asked me, and I shall have him. Like, guess what? He was fucking like infirm as shit during the filming of Wrath of Khan, and you could not tell. So guess what? He has my respect for life.
No, too right. Even if Khan was a little bit of an... I'm not going to say too much because I dump on Wrath of Khan a little bit because I know it's everyone's favourite movie and I don't want to kind of go into the ire of it, but yeah.
You're talking to someone who has a Mondo limited edition vinyl soundtrack of Star Trek 2, so watch your fucking mouth.
Oh, the soundtrack's amazing. Soundtrack all based on the planets is all very much akin to that. If you go listen to the Holster of the Planets, it's you just going, oh yeah, that's Star Trek. That's Wrath of Khan. That's
oh yeah. Guess what? James Horner knew his classical music.
100%. Did you know? And I found this out today. The composer of The Undiscovered Country, his name escapes me. He was only 27 when he wrote that.
Really?
That's amazing. I know. Yeah.
Because he did really good work. Like the theme when they're hunting for the bounty is fucking like next level. It's really good submarine music.
It's so good. Okay, we've waxed on long enough. I think people need to know what this week's crew are going to be good or not.
Spoiler, they're not.
They're not. Well, we'll see. Let's count back because we need to talk about little boy Blue Wesley eating that pie very graphically. Okay, chat. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Do you like this art?
So, I feel like we have to get something out of the way here, right? And it's like, I don't think you can make the argument that this art is bad because it is eminently very detailed. It is eminently accurate. It is eminently representative of the scene. You just have to make the decision of should they have picked this exact moment to immortalize. And I think it's perfect because when I think of Wesley in the episode stuffing his mouth with pie, it's not quite this face that I picture him. It's like I think of the while he's got like his like mouth while he's growing while everyone's staring at him. But it's unmistakable who that is.
Trey just says, I think we should see what's at the top of the pillar he sat on.
It was a different time.
How this part, like we've often heard about, licensing issues and has to always go past the content creator for like getting things authorized. How this passed? Ooh, this is interesting. Like I think I'll probably it's a skirmish. So I'll probably get the 1/500. Like because I tend to go, everyone's on a farming, and I'll end up with him purely because it's nuts. Like.
Yeah, it's up there with Flux No Natural in terms of like I'm kind of shocked you got this past. Props to Joe and Fury and Carmen and like everyone who also worked on like the. I want to know which one of you guys did this and get you on the show to talk for about an hour and a half about this part.
He's in no collections, so I'm out. This is my contribution to the show. You talk about all the interesting stuff. I go, 2 collections. Right, we're done. Moving on.
Otto has poisoned your mind. Okay. So Dip End Side. That's a pretty common stack that we've been getting a lot of recently in slightly different permeations. Like we've had Carl, Guardian of Forever, who was Dip Psy-Eng, and then we had the Zindi Aquatic Counselor, who I believe was also Dip End Psy. This honestly is not a stack that most people I think would struggle with unless they are relatively new to the game. because people would have recently picked up EDF Adira, Adira Towel, or Adira Towel, as they are known. Interface LaForge has been knocking around the game for 2 years and is still as incredible as ever, and it has been in a rerun skirmish. Dip Eng is not quite as rare as it used to be. There are tons of good cards that are better than Wesley. Whether or not that impinges on your want for him is probably immaterial. What I will say is that despite me kind of ragging on him, and it's not a great card by anything, he would voyage for most people. Especially if you don't have a massively well-developed roster like this kind of Dip Eng. 110 doesn't look great, but guess what? Like, that dip rank looks like number 54 because all the dip ranks look like that.
Yeah.
Like, they're all stacked together like Swiss cheese. Like, it's how it works. So if you've gotten 5 out of 5 from this event, or, God forbid, spent dilithium chasing copies so you can have them finished, he would voyage for you, and if we ever get that elusive hologram collection, then maybe we worth something. Yeah. Or maybe you're just a massive, massive Wesley fan. I'm told they exist.
Yeah, there's a band of Will Wheaton fans out there somewhere that are just going, finally! I mean, he is, like, one of the better Wesley cards. I think, in fact, the best Wesley
He is the best thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's no other, because there's Lieutenant Commander Wesley from the kind of weird originals
Parallels.
one, but yeah, from Parallels, which is, and what's the other 5-star Wesley? Is there another one? Brain is failing me.
No, I don't think there is.
No, so there's one.
No, there's the Pilot Wesley, there's Traveler Wesley, and then Formal Dress. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's another 5-star.
Yeah, there is not. So you're not spoiled for choice on Wesleys and 5 stars, and so maybe there is definitely potential for more Wesley variants if you're thinking event usage and you want to get a little bit more of him. But
but it's about the art. It's about the art.
It is 100%.
Not to mention, if we ever get Riker Musketeer and we potentially get a Vanity, he could be part of that.
Oh, that's a point. Hollow Pursuit. So yeah, that's quite.
Yeah, we have almost everyone. We'd have Lady Beverly, the Goddess of Empathy, all the Musketeers, Duelist Barclay. We'd obviously have we're only missing Riker. If they decided to do a Musketeer Vanity, that could absolutely work.
Yeah,
it's pretty iconic.
Yeah, it's I think the whole Hollow Addiction is played out very well with sort of like Social Network Edition. It was one of those, Star Trek thought of it first and it's a kind of profit for what problems technologies would cause. So yeah, this is bang on.
Oh well, it's a really well constructed episode because it starts off as such a bit of a romp and a bit of a dig at itself, and then it gets like not just serious because it tackles Barclay's actual issues of anxiety and how that translates into the 24th century, where even though we're a more enlightened species, we still kind of are shitty about mental health. And then you have like a point where he actually gets to prove himself, but still working as part of the team so that it doesn't come across entirely as, look, this guy is like different, but he helped save us, so his difference is good. It's like, no, he works as part of a team because everyone supports each other in this universe and is helpful and encouraging and works together.
Yeah.
And I feel like that kind of takes away any potential, he is different, but he helps, so he good, which is like what a lot of these storylines can sometimes fall into, and I hate that trope.
Yeah, I know. I've just thought of a good way we could get a Picard variant in here as well, aside from Musketeer Picard. But that we could definitely have
Mr. Broccoli.
Yeah, awkwardly saying broccoli. Broccoli Picard is just
Picard. Dying on his.
Yes, just really embarrassed.
When my boyfriend saw that scene and he realized what Picard had said, I thought he was about to fall out of his chair. He was laughing so much.
It was pretty iconic.
So good.
So, go on. Sorry, go on.
But I was going to say, so I was talking about, he would voyage for you.
Unless
we have talked in the last little bit about releasing an event card and then releasing a 6-pack card that does what that card does a little bit better, which leads us to the Countess Regina Bartholomew. I'm not quite sure what the
Regina. I don't know. We should know this, shouldn't we? It's a very British term.
Well, it depends on whether or not you'll receive pronunciation or whether or not.
It's tempting to say Regina.
I'm pretty sure it should be.
but I think it's Regina.
I think it's Regina actually, because it comes from from Regal and Reign, as in like an actual royal. Which, by the way, fuck you. She's not royalty.
Is a countess royalty?
Fucking name, yes.
It's a granted title. It is not an inherited title.
It is a landed country noble title. By definition, it is a form of like lower royalty, but it is if you're going to give the trait to Lady Sorella, who the episode went out of its way to establish is not actually royalty.
That's true.
Showing you watch that episode, then the bitch with the name Countess should count.
Count the Countess. That's the phrase. Hashtag count the Countess.
Yeah. I demand a recount of the Countess.
I'm gonna fill in for Auto here and say this is because I know how much of a fan he is of props in art, and that is such a needless chair. You didn't need the chair. They could have just had her standing there, but no. I love they put the chair in. That is a nice chair as well.
To be fair, it's actually a plot point because that's the chair they use to prove to them that they can't beam it off the holodeck, and
that's
it does. I absolutely love the art, and B, this actress and the character she plays. Because she's a completely original creation. She's not part of the Holmes estate. Like Moriarty never had a floozy, as it were. And she is, I think you, Idol, will probably have an appreciation of this, of like the kind of the trope. I don't want to call it stereotype because it's not really a stereotype. The trope of like the English noblewoman who has a thing for the bad boys and who is a bit of a like will pull her skirts up and run type. That kind of character archetype. And the Countess Regina is very much in that sort of that vein. And I thought for a relatively stock character, she's a lot of fun. Like like Ship in a Bottle is a great episode.
That is a good one. Definitely the double take at the end as well. The two things I love: the double take where they kind of go, "Aha, you're in a holodeck simulation all along," and then the very last bit where Barclay stands there and just kind of goes, "End program." Just like, oh my, he just starts to have little sort of like freak out, or what's the questioning his reality as he kind of goes, am I in a holodeck program? Because that's the last thing he would want after spending years breaking out of his holodeck addiction to realise, oh shit, I'm in a holodeck all along.
I was the hologram all along.
Am I real?
Okay, can I ask you a question?
You can.
So you know the bit when they realise they're in the holodeck still, by testing Geordie's spatial parameters.
Yes.
Like and he catches it with the wrong hand, which is the original glitch that caused the whole problem in the first place. And then like they just dismiss Geordie out of sight, and it's like he just like kind of turns around and goes back to what he's doing. Do you think that Geordie hologram is capable of like existential dread?
I don't think he probably. Yeah, I don't think he was sophisticated to know. I think he was maybe just kind of like, oh, I'm a hologram. I will turn around and just do what I was doing. He could be programmed to just ignore it or whatever.
Yeah, no, like I think that episode brings up a lot of really interesting like ideas, and some of them pretty subtly, despite how like on the surface it is. It's like the way that they treat that Geordie hologram is very interesting, considering the fact that up until that point they treated him like a completely normal human being, and he reacted like a normal human being.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of like the Countess more than I like Little Boy Blue, even though he has a more meme-tastic art, just because I like the character a bit more, and I like what she represents, and the prop is fun. And she's functionally identical, really. Like, the dip rank is higher, but let's be real, they are stacked like slices of cheese. And the dip end voyage... You had that queued up, didn't you? I did. I've got cheese on the mind. I don't know why today. I think I'm just really hungry. Yeah, no, I think she's great. She's one of those cards that when she turns up in a Behold in, say, like 2 years, I'll be happy to take her because of the art.
Yeah. I think as well in the 6-pack, there's quite a few. There's not a great 6-pack, really. Like we all say, don't do 6-packs, kids, but like, you know, this is. You go for the Countess. You maybe get lucky with Data for the Android. But there's not a lot else there. Pulaski's good if you don't have it, but why would you dig in a 6-pack for Pulaski? Don't just.
Well, also everyone should have gotten a 3 or 4 out of 4 of her from the event not recently ago.
And Geordie as well. You know, this is it's a good theme pack. I do like it.
Yeah. What did you say about Data again?
He is an android. And he is
also
costumed. Oh.
Fully functional.
Oh, shit. The triggers weren't across. Just do that again? I'll trigger it.
No, we've lost the window.
Fully functional.
There we go. Sorry, I had the art above my triggers and the layers. Never mind. Anyway, how about a bit of... No one noticed.
You can't keep on distracting from all of your numerous gaps with your clips.
Okay, so yeah, this isn't a great six-pack by any means, unless you're after the Countess.
Yeah, no, like she is kind of the best card there, really, in terms of voyage power and relative power. Like Data has event and costume value, but like he will not voyage on, I think, even the most anemic of rosters.
Dixon's the odd one out here, isn't he? Dixon Hill shouldn't be in this collection. Like, okay, he absolutely shouldn't be. Yeah, he absolutely shouldn't be. They're all holodeck adjacent crew, but yeah, he's the one that stands out there.
Yeah, no, it's a bit odd, especially because there are a few crews that we could still get. Like, we could get
Wesley.
Their very stock version.
No, what's his name? Not Wesley. Fuck, what was his name? The historian in the other Dixon Hill episode. That wouldn't count anyway.
Oh!
What the fuck was his name? Ross something.
Wayland. Yeah. When the ship had a historian like in TOS. You could really tell that was season 1 episode. So, yeah, no, it's a bit odd that he's there, especially because we're still missing their very stock version of Lestrade, who we could very easily have. And we also don't have Victorian Worf yet. You know, because he, for some reason, gets dressed up in that, almost like that Victorian thing, and never even goes in the holodeck. I never quite understood what the point of him getting dressed up was.
He just does that for fun. This is human culture.
I'm down.
Easy. It's like, you know, you kind of like want a six-pack, even if you think, I don't want to do it, but I'm going to dive into. I think, well, at least if I get one of the other golds or the other SRs, then I've kind of filled a hole. But no, there's not a lot here, unless you're a collection fiend.
Yeah,
and then you'll get the professor.
I mean, he has a lot of traits, but he, like a lot of other people here, he manages to perfect the art of having a lot of traits and not having any collections like good old frickin' Resistance Neelix.
Yeah. Okay, let's backtrack. We're going to go back and forth. Actually, while we're here, let's talk about the other Tuesday pack we missed, which was last week's one, which was Agents Dulmer and Luxley from which we watched on this channel a few weeks back from the Trials and Tribulations collection, which I think it's a good crew worth diving into a six-pack for, though.
I mean, a bit of Sci-Sec is always good, and they're a decent Voyager, but it's like 0 event count is like...
Oh, that might be inaccurate. I think the data core flips out with some event counts. Let me just double check. That's not just me.
Okay.
I think 0 event 0 collections. I think that might be a problem. I was talking to Nefa about this the other day. I'll double check with their event count.
Okay, fair enough.
They must have something. They've got a few traits.
Depending on that.
Yeah.
I know. I think so. I know there's some controversy. Well, I say controversy. As much as there's any controversy in this game. What are you talking about? Off-wall? We don't know about that. So explain to me.
Go on.
Why people don't like the duo crew?
I don't know. I love the duo crew. I love
Yeah, no, because it's like stuff like the Bashirs, the Rezhenkos.
I think the Rezhenkos put a lot of people off because they're terrible. I think they're the ones that...
So do you think it's purely just association then?
And 1001 as well. I think that's definitely put a lot of people off. My entire event sheet is broken, and I don't know why. Anyway, let's carry on.
A fine time to find out now.
Yeah, that's good. The last event crew counted was Osiris, so I need to maybe look at that at some point and work out what's going on.
Weird.
Yeah, God knows. Spreadsheets, am I right? Yeah. I like duo crew. I think like 1001, which you get just because it's funny, or the Rezhenkos, which you kind of go, oh God, do I really need it? Are they veteran? I think. Oh God, do I need another?
Yeah, it counts for his Sergei's veteran status counts.
Which you, by the way, you don't. You can complete that collection without ever getting them.
But Idle, I somehow got 5 copies of them from Beholds.
Oh no! Airlock them all.
How do you have 5 Beholds where they were the best choice? Now that is odd.
You put them in the freezer.
I'm not
Okay, this is something we should do for when we talk about crew in the future. We'll have a little animation for like, are we going to put them in the freezer or something else? And then I play a little animation, and it's fun, and people are engaged and go, "Oh, this is a cool channel. We should subscribe." Anyway,
Idle. All of our audience are asleep. They're not engaged.
Oh god, yeah, that's a point. This will wake them up. No, it's just air horns and vuvuzelas or things. Oh, hang on, no, this one will wake them up.
Pepperoni! God, I'd love a pepperoni pizza with Bavarian olives right now. I'm starving!
Okay, so this crew is that good that we're just playing clips instead.
Well, there's not a massive amount to say about them because, like, they're a very low event. Like, I know they must have some events, but I can't imagine they have particularly tasty traits because I imagine they have a human Starfleet Federation investigator.
Yeah.
Temporal agent, I imagine.
Would they be temporal agents? They are. They are temporal agents, investigator, and then FHS, essentially. So they got two. So they. I think there has been.
I guess just by looking at them, so they're not exactly interesting.
No.
They are fun though. Like, and again, we have like a ton of bridge crew potential here, and it's nice. I think we now have pretty much everyone from that episode. I think that's one of the episodes they've mined the most extensively for variants.
We don't have the Klingon. The TOS Klingon who has a fight with Scotty.
Oh,
we talking the DS9
we don't
episode.
have him.
Yeah.
Yeah, the DS9 episode we don't have everyone.
Okay. Yeah. But the six-pack itself, when I press the right button, too far.
Yeah, it's all duo crew, right?
It's all duo crew, and it's quite funny because people are like, there's only 5 in a six-pack. I'm like, no, you are getting each of the binars individually. Like, there is one good crew in there, and that's Archer and Porthos, if maybe. The Bashirs as well.
Good.
Yeah, that's good with a big sort of, with finger quotes around it. Good in context of your roster, maybe, but yeah, I dove into it because I'm on a super rare kick and I'd like to get them all, but it took me 1 pack, but that's the only reason. I feel comfier going into 6 packs for super rares because I feel like I'm not gonna waste all my money.
Well, yeah, because it's that old thing of setting your expectations low, and if you end up into happening into a gold, hooray!
Hey.
And if not, it's like, oh, well, I got what I wanted.
And maybe there'll be a temporal agent collection, and that will be wonderful.
Be a very small collection, but I could see it.
I like it. I mean, Android's only 25. They're not opposed to doing like smaller little fun collections.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair point.
Let's do. Who should we go to next? Should we talk about the title card herself? One I'm very happy we got in the game, which is my favourite character out of Picard, Investigator Laris. Who, this is brilliant. Tell me why. Tell me why.
I don't know who it was at CBS who decided that we needed a super Irish Romulan housekeeper super agent. Like Mrs. Doyle on steroids, but we needed her, and we got her. Go on, Sir Patrick.
Would you like some more ale, Father? Go on.
Go on. She's not actually that amazing in terms of voyage rank, even though she's got a really nice skill set. The majority of the value here comes in the collections, which are pretty peach. You can't go wrong with Romulan. I can see that getting expanded very quickly because they're adding quite a few of them. A veteran, you always need decent cards, and it's better to go diving in for crew like this than the Rajenkos, for example. She's just cool. Like, I loved Laris. I love this scene. Like, I'm a sucker for a good crime scene reconstruction scene. I always think that's great. And like, I love her and Picard's like interplay of, like the Romulan forensic technology you're using is like noted to be incredibly unreliable, and she's like, yeah, that's what we like to think. And it's like, of course it makes sense that like the Romulans would have top-notch forensic thing. They are so paranoid. Of course they probably scan their rooms with that tech that she uses to reconstruct the night of the attack on Daj. They probably do that when they think someone's been in their room looking at their porn. They're like,
who was it? No, you know how she uses it? She uses it when Picard's wandered off. He's had a bit of a senile moment. He's wandered off, and she's like, "Where's he gone now?" Just does a little scan. Oh, he's out in the bloody fields again with that stupid dog. No, I love it. I didn't realise as well until recently that Orla Brady, who plays Laris, was also in Doctor Who as well. She was in one of the... she was the... And I can't remember the name of it. I think Luxie's in chat. He can tell us. Right at the end of Eleven's run, she was the... running the big sort of cathedral ship or whatever it was, and she was the one of sort of like very implied to be one of the Doctor's old flames, and she appears in the bar.
Oh, is she the one that got eaten by a Dalek or whatever, and like the ice ball came out of her head? Or something? Yeah, I vaguely remember that. Yeah. I vaguely remember.
So she was her, and I didn't realise that.
Okay, fair tasha I prefer her character here, as I do with most things from Matt Smith's run.
Thank you, Lucas. Tasha Lem.
Tasha, that name rings a bell. Yeah, Tasha Lem. Okay, fair enough. She's fun. She's a definite win in terms of like a collection thing, and I think like a newer roster rather would get some use out of her. Yeah. I want we need a gold Laris because like if we had swapped around, say the Countess with this Laris, and she had like an appropriate voyage rank, I would have gone Gaga for her. As it is, I'm going to have to hope that Season 2 Laris, who we've seen in the trailer, will get the gold treatment, because I love being able to use the cards I like on voyages. That scratches such an itch for me, and I hope we get an appropriately good Laris card.
Definitely. The one big downside is we're going into a skirmish, and this is the only kind of real time you'll look at the arena stats, but her arena is... her ship stuff is not great, because she has the big old decrease attack by 2, which is... For people say, I've got her, and I'm going to put on the ship.
I need gun, Idol. You can't be giving me this decreased attack bullshit.
However, Laris, and I'm just looking at Laris now, if you're looking at alternatives to for your skirmish, hang on, where is it? It boosts accuracy by 9 at 4 seconds, and just no attack boost. So, like, if you've got Laris and you want to put her on instead, that might be a better option. But, yeah. Not great. I think there's more Laris to come, and Zaban, I think his name was her husband.
Jabon. I don't know if that's the French like pronunciation of a Romulan name. Oh, Jabon!
Pass me the Romulan ale.
He was great fun as well. Somewhere like what's a codger? Somewhere between a Geet and Coot, I believe.
Yeah. Well, he was from the north.
Yeah, I did love that explanation for why there's the TNG in like the old style Romulans, like they're from the north and south. Of course, that's perfect.
Okay, I think we've got one more crew to talk about, and it is the finest suit in the existence. The RoboCop himself is in the game with John Frederick Paxton from the finale of Enterprise.
The actual finale. There was no other episode. This Terra Prime was the finale of Enterprise, playing the quite xenophobic John Frederick Paxton. And this is not a bad card to grab, to be fair. He's better than he has any right to be, because, like, Command Dipsec, he's a survivalist. He's got a decent voyage rank. He has a few traits that I believe he is number one choice for in this skill set, so he is worthwhile there. I wish he were anything other than Command Dipsec. But at the same time, it's like there was nothing else he could really be, because if anyone's seen that two-part, he is not a scientist, he is not a medic, he is not an engineer by any measure. He is a guy who tells other people to do things in service of his xenophobic ideals. So that's perfectly fine. Idle. Pop quiz. Your favorite Peter Weller role? Is it RoboCop?
I think it might be. We have just given Into Darkness crap, but he did that. He was
Admiral Marcus. He was good. He was good.
Very good in that. But I wouldn't say it's my favorite. But yeah, it's probably RoboCop. To be fair, I have only seen him in RoboCop, this, and Into Darkness. I don't think, unless he's popped up in something and I've forgotten about it, I'm going to look at his IMDb. I'm probably seeing something.
Have you never seen Buckaroo Banzai Across the Fifth Dimension?
No. Should I have?
Oh, dude, that movie's great. So that's I think it's from 1986, and the only way I can describe it to you is imagine like a mid-80s sci-fi flick.
Yeah.
With the premise of, how if you jump into a comic book, like 5 issues into a 10-story arc, you have no idea what's going on, but everyone involved is just running with it. it's like that. Like there's tons of stuff that isn't explained, tons of backstory that's implied, and you're just kind of like, wait, what's this? Who is that? Why is this? Okay, what? But it has one of the most star-studded casts I can think of. Like he's like the main character. You got John Lithgow as the villain.
Yeah.
A very young Jeff Goldblum is there in cowboy chaps.
Okay. Now I have to see it.
Clancy Brown, who we might know better as the voice of Lex Luthor and Cabral.
Clancy Brown, yeah.
He is incredibly young and incredibly hot in that movie, so I can absolutely recommend it on that front.
Fair enough. I just realised he's
also
yeah. Go on.
Oh, no, it's also a series that is all over Star Trek. If you go and look through all of like the Akudagrams that they did for like TNG, they are full of Buckaroo Banzai references. They were massive nerds for this movie, so go and watch that.
I will add it to my download list. And I'll put it on that. He was in 24, which I didn't realise, because I've seen all 24, but ages ago. He was the bad guy. I think I remember him being the bad guy, or like one of the main sort of big ones.
He plays the bad guy a lot, for who I understand to be quite a nice man.
He was in Fringe as well. I missed loads of stuff on him. He's in Fringe. He was in a show called Odyssey 5, playing a character called Chuck Taggart. Chuck Taggart, which I think is a brilliant name.
That is such a hero name, Mr. Taggart. Like Christ.
Chuck Taggart. Yeah, so yeah, Peter Weller's here. I think looking at it, like a lot of people are saying, like, oh yeah, Command DipSec, and I think there's been a recent argument, speaking with some sort of like, just thinking of like Namer and yourself and Auto going over like the stats and things like that. This is on akin to like people like Wyatt Earp, people that have these sort of common stats but are quite good at them and do fill some niche like seats that would get you better voyage ranks. So this is kind of, like you say, Stars, he's better than he should be, really.
Yeah, he kind of is. And I was like, I'm kind of glad he got this treatment because he is a really good bad guy. He is such a good bad guy, especially for the episodes that he's in, because he's in, like, this character would be kind of like flat and one note and wouldn't make a lot of sense in TNG or in Voyager or in DS9, really. But Enterprise, where humanity is still floundering and taking its first steps into the cosmos, it absolutely makes sense that there would be a character like Paxton and that he would take this form of, well, look at these weird half-breeds. Like, look at like the Zindi creating problems for us. This is what comes of going out into space. And it's like, I can see the logic, and that character makes sense only really within these trappings. So they did a really good job on this two-parter. As you say, it is the actual finale of Enterprise. That other episode does not count. That's non-canon.
No, I don't know what
it's
you're
just a
talking
holodeck
about.
simulation. It can't hurt you. It can't hurt you if you don't think about it.
Oh god, Trip died!
No, it didn't happen.
Had a moment.
No,
Breathe out. Can I just say the art is fantastic? Like, that pose captures the character. That just the way Son's company, that's like, you can tell the speech. You can hear how he's speaking just from that pose.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The only thing I have to say, and I'm not sure if this is an intentional hairstyle choice by Mr. Weller or not, is how familiar are you with Norman Osborn?
Yes, yeah, I know you're going with it. Yeah.
He has those like weird line hair.
What is that? Is that like a what is it, like a braid cut or whatever? It's just really strange, isn't it?
It's a consistent like way they've depicted him since the 60s, where Norman Osborn always has this hair that goes in like lighter brown and then dark brown, like waves, as if he's got like braids or some kind of weird hairstyle. And I look at Paxton there, and I can see it kinda. He looks a little bit Norman Osborn, which is maybe unintentional. I'm not sure.
Peter Weller as Norman Osborn in his future Marvel stuff.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be quite cool. I'd go for that. Yeah, I like it. I don't think I'm going. Are you going to go for him? I don't think I am, because it's
I can't really justify it. Like, I just finished citing up Quinn, who was like a command
you've done Quinn recently?
Yes, I used my honor sale sites on him because I was like, I'm never going to do it otherwise. I said I'd do it on the show, so I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. And he's actually, worth the investment. For someone who was weak in their DipSec like I was, worth the investment. But having done him, I can't justify picking up another Command DipSec, even if they are quite good. So I don't know. Do you think there's going to be much competition for him?
I predict this might be quite low. I think a lot of people are sort of after Human Saru. I think a lot of people are now starting to stock up their boost a bit more for that one fact. That's tends to be how I approach factions as well. I don't just sort of run my boost for every sort of 1/500. I kind of like go like, I want this card, spam it. I want it now. Give me 750 for my 2 copies. Like, I think a lot of people since the change to 2 golds at 750 as well are stockpiling a bit more from. I think. It could go either way. I think it's going to be sort of like a middling event. I think a lot of the people that want to push for factions are part of habit. People that want a sort of a stronger voyage or like the episode will go for it, and everyone else will kind of sit and just kind of go, yeah, I got Laris. No, not Laris. Musketeer Data.
Yes. Yeah. No, I feel like that's like for most people. I think are going to just like kind of grab him and go, unless they are like someone like No Name Namer who wants to corner the edge on every single permutation of Voyage antimatter trait seat, which I applaud him because he keeps the game going. God knows how he manages it.
There are a few of them out there. Here's one of them. Okay. Shall we? Let's do something we haven't done for a long time. Let's do a beholder meter while I wait for Spock to finish phase thing here. Go on. Oh, no, don't worry. Yeah, you got your trike. Oh, you got it right. Let's turn it on. Right, we are fizzing around. By the way, if you've seen these Spocks appearing on the screen, that will be something you in chat, if you're a follower of the channel, that is, can trigger yourselves with some commands. That will be one of the things we can do on Twitch. Okay, so let's stop it on. Okay. 0 stars on Away Team Michael Burnham, 3 stars on Obsidian Order Garrick, or 1 star on Mirror Intendant Kira. This is a tough one.
Yeah, no, that's actually a pretty decent behold. Like, these are like middling power voyages, but they all have something to recommend them.
They do. So, my first thought is grab that Burnham for Gauntlet. I think you only need the one. The rest you can cite. There's something there. I mean, like Kira is got every collection under the sun, and also she's a Kira who has every event ever through all time.
Yeah, and she's got like a ton of extra traits. Like I think she counts as like a villain and stuff like that. And she's also just like actually not a terrible Voyager despite how old she is. Like somehow,
I can see a lot of people. And sort of what Kinnick said, Garrick, because he's got the 3 stars, so you put the star. So you put the star on Garrick, not a bad choice. You get his Gauntlet use out of him already, and maybe fill a collection. But I think I would go for one.
Go towards Cardassian. Cardassian's hard to finish.
Yeah, I think I'd say Burnham. Like Burnham, just getting because she's great in Gauntlet, purely for that, and you get one of she is.
Well, yeah.
She is something, isn't she? She is in a collection.
Survivalist.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she is. That is her only collection. Is Survivalist, I believe. But yeah, Burnham's are in every event as well. Oh, she's also Astrophysicist as well. Survivalist, Resourceful, Prisoner. She's a prisoner. Oh, I suppose this is season 1 Burnham, isn't it?
Yeah, so she hasn't even got the rank insignia or anything because she's still technically like indentured, I guess.
Yeah. But no, I think for a star. I think yeah, like I can know a lot of VIP Zero players would be like, yeah, take a star because that's here. But I think like you're sacrificing too much Gauntlet potentially because she is great when she hits those crits.
Yeah. Everyone who is saying they'll take Kira just because of the art and the costume, you are correct in doing so. I cannot begrudge you. I have taken many wolves for far worse reasons.
And please go and have a cold shower right now. Calm yourself down. Have a word with yourself.
Well, as long as the word is mirror, that's fine.
There you go. Oh yeah, she's mirror as well. There you go. Right, let's spin it. Spin the tricorder. Do you know what I'm going to do as well?
That's the worst version of spin the bottle I can think of.
I'm actually going to update this with all crew soon because it's far boring. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. So 4 stars on Hugh Culber to Skiller Extraordinaire. No stars on 5 of 12. No stars on Old Art 23rd Century Martok, which I need to update as well. Look at that. That was glorious art in the time, wasn't it? God, that's awful.
Yeah, no, I hate it. I can't stand it. The collection says Martok, right?
Yeah, he's veteran, Klingon. He's in quite a lot now. He's in 4 collections.
Originals,
Klingons, costumed as well.
Somehow costumed. I don't get that, but
yeah,
whatever.
That's the point. Costumed.
I guess he's wearing his 23rd century's face. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't think about it. Don't worry about it.
Wearing a potato. I don't know.
All three of these are decent choices, honestly, because like normally Colbo would be like, do you really want to start him? But 4 out of 5, if you get to finish him.
You get to finish him. He's got, big bases, but he does have big bases. Like before Bones McCoy came along, he was like the top of filling med seats. Absolutely.
Well, yeah, and he'd also fulfill the same role because you only have one Bones unless you're a maniac.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you never know. I know I've seen bridge crew photos with 4 Satos on the bridge, so wouldn't put it past someone.
Fair enough.
Someone wants to... Yeah.
I think I'd go 5 of 12 here, actually.
Interesting.
Maybe that's a dark horse choice, because I know he's only got Borg and Inspiring, and he's not the Voyager he once was, but I really like his Unimatrix 02-parter, and he has consistently eluded me. Like, he's really hard for me to... I haven't seen him in any Behold. Once I finish out a few of my 4 out of 5s, I might actually retrieve him, because I need good Borg cards, because it's a trait that comes up on Voyages all the time, and there aren't a ton of great options for it.
He's also Inspiring.
I don't think there's... Yeah. Because he's the leader of the Unimatrix faction. Yeah, no, I think I'd go him there, but there's no bad choice here. Every choice is a good one here.
No. Yeah, I think Mart. I'd be torn between, because I don't know how easy Culber is to retrieve. Like if you're already looking at your 4 or 5.
Bad, must be bad.
Yeah, I haven't seen him.
He's like physician romantic. Like,
that's right.
There must be tons of those.
I'd probably lean Culber, but regret passing on Martok because of 4 collections. I've cited him up. He's also got some gauntlet use. I think he gets a 45, maybe a 65.
Sounds about right, yeah.
I think he might get 65 as well. I'm not sure. I'd have to look into it.
It's either him or the Changeling Martok, I think. I think that he also gets the same stat.
Yeah, they're definitely sort of that niche sort of brutal Klingons, veteran, that kind of that skill combo. But yeah. Gazoo's just popped up. Thank you for the recognising my greatness. He's actually had 3 top 50s in a row. So I must have shouted him out on a previous show. 24th in the Galaxy 3 weeks ago. Yes. Visual and applause is all around, and I will give you a. Okay, let's turn the beholder meter off, and we promised everyone in our Discord that we would do some of these fake crew that you put in. So anyone on our Discord that is watching, we have finally got round to doing it. For everyone that put your suggestions in, if you want to put in a suggestion you would like us to mock up, please go onto the Timelines Discord, which is in a link under this. I should really put it on the screen, but you can find it. It's around. And use the little suggestion tag, and we'll put it into our queue. But we will do some fake crew, which I think I made this layout ages ago.
It's been a little while. Between me not appearing on a show for a little while and then like the 2-week schedule, like it's been a little while since we've done our last one. So
get into it. We were interrupted by a few things, but we will get more in a schedule. So we've got a little bit of a backlog to go through, and we will do them. But yes, let's do some of these fake crew that aren't in the game yet. Actually, have some of these appeared in the game yet? It's been that long. No, they have not.
I don't think they have just yet. So I'm not quite ahead of the game.
Vagina Bartholomew. Great sketch. Bugger. Okay, first.
That would have been a fun one, actually, because then we could have done a compare and contrast and how close I was.
Oh, that's something we could do. If they do actually make the card, then we can go back and go, well, what did we predict? Were we on the money? Were you on the money? These are all your creations. But so this is the first one up is Lieutenant Commander Ian Troy. Thank you, Mira Kitten, for suggesting that one. Stars, please take us through your choices on this one.
So, I really like it's called Dark Page. It's like a season 7 episode, and it dives all into the Troy family history, and it's a lot more tragic than you kind of expect, considering what you know about Loxana and Deanna. And even though it's like this scene in particular, where she sees this like apparition of her father that is obviously being conjured up by her mother's like subconscious mind to kind of protect herself, even though it's a little bit sort of obvious, it's still a case of this is a character that like Troy has talked about on and off for about 7 years, who we've never seen, who we've only ever heard talked about, who was married to Loxana Troy. And there's always that curiosity of like, well, what is he actually like? And then you sort of you meet him and he's like, oh, of course he would be like that. Of course he would be this like super soft-spoken, super just nice guy who would be pleasant to be around, who is the kind of like Disney prince who would sing to his child. And even though it's a little bit sort of like saccharine, I still kind of like felt it a little bit when like she reacted. I was like, Yeah, you know, if I had that kind of like background and I saw him again after so long without seeing him, I would probably have a similar reaction. That being said, like I didn't think it kind of warranted like gold level because I feel like we shouldn't make every 5-second character a gold. So I figured a rare was a decent pick for the rare. And command because I believe he is slated to be a lieutenant commander. A bit of psi because you can always throw a bit of command psi in there nowadays, and a little bit of med because guess what?
Med.
A little bit. If like tourist quark is always the one you go back to. But it's like. I feel like he was like a soothing enough presence and like a sort of like a little break in the storm enough. I think this med is absolutely justified. I feel like that. I was quite happy with like making him.
If you make him a rare though, you realise that you're making every TNG flashback crew that is in a movie era uniform a rare because we've got Jack Crusher, you've got Richard Castillo, and now Ian Troy. All you can have a little sort of parade of like people who served in the early 2300s.
There's got to be someone. Oh no!
No, you've made them all rare. That's fine. That's good. Because that's like Kankor and Koloth. You know, that's they could.
Oh yeah, you know that's fair. Yeah, it's like poetry. It rhymes.
Oh God! All right, George Lucas. Moving on. No, that's the wrong button. I can't do that with this one. I need to hit that button. There we go. Maxwell Burke from Equinox, suggested by Skycap. Super rare.
So,
how many traits does he need?
Tell me if you think any of those are wrong, because I was like looking at them like, am I being generous here? And I'm like, no, these are all accurate to what they get up to in the episode.
I don't know if he's a scoundrel. Scoundrel's very much like, having a bit of a joke. He's just more kind of...
They go back and forth on how... Because he is very smiley faced when he's with Torres, despite the fact that he might as well be like grinding up sentient aliens into paste and putting them on his sandwiches. Like that's how like evil the Equinox crew are to those poor aliens.
And he'd do it again.
Yeah, I mean he would. And like I don't know, maybe I go too far in the other direction of like. Where WRG like is very stingy with traits, like we were just talking about the Countess not having royalty and various other omissions that kind of don't make sense. Maybe I go too far the other way and go, and because I literally do go through every single trait that's in the game and go, do they qualify? And some of them are more conscientious than others, but I feel like all of these are justified, really.
I would probably take Explorer off because he was
going through the Delta Quadrant.
They are, but I don't think. Are there many Janeways Explorers? Because you'd have to give it to Janeway.
I feel like there's at least one or two, yeah.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, I'd say he's more of a dick than an explorer. I think he's more just serving to just like, yeah, I'm here, I'm on this ship.
More of a dick than an explorer, okay.
I'm just here with my alien paste sandwiches, just get on with my day, come on.
Yeah.
Obviously, Ransom, definitely explorer, but yeah, maybe not so much.
Yeah, well, I know, I feel like the sheer breadth of the experiences that they talk about them having had before they started taking as many casualties as they did, I feel like the Equinox crew would justify it, just like how they give Explorer to almost all the TOS and Discovery crew, despite how much or not they might have actually explored at that point in their life.
You know who else is an explorer?
I was actually going to say, before you continue, he actually has a thematically appropriate ship ability as well. Because the Equinoxes and the Nova class's special ability is to fully recharge their shields after bringing them down for 40 seconds. So I figured it made sense to give him like a full shield recharge. Especially because I think that would be an interesting shake-up for the ship meta. I don't know if that would mitigate some of the instant damage if you need to be really quick off the draw, but I think it would be interesting at the very least.
Because I think it's 6 seconds for most of the... Because it would be, 4 seconds to initialize on the Kraken, wouldn't it? Because of the time reduction. So that might just miss it. That might be too late, unless you are running the Kraken and they would do it at the same time. I think, 50-50.
I know the new meta is to add the Captain Proton's rocket ship. I haven't really experimented with that as a defensive option.
I've started doing that, and that's worked out quite well. It's sort of I'm kind of credit farming sort of the top ranks at the moment because I'm waking up at like 7 in the morning my time, which is like when everyone's playing in America. They're all asleep. I'm like, haha, this is my time to strike. And I don't drop down.
Now I can reign supreme.
Yes, now I can get my 45,000 credits by hitting number 1 3 times in the morning.
Guess what? That goes toward your retrieval. It's worth it.
It's absolutely worth it. Now I've given the game away. Okay, moving on. Vice Admiral Layton, suggested by Luxie. Super rare? Super rare? For an Admiral?
Again, well, Admiral Dougherty.
Okay, fine.
I'm pretty sure we have some other 4-star Admirals as well.
Okay, we do, actually. But I'd say Layton, this is quite nice. Well,
he's a two-parter of villain. I feel like that was decent enough, and I was like, he's not... I do really like the performance in this episode. Like, I think he's a really like well-crafted villain. In that he is not actually a villain. He is just like a well-intentioned extremist, which is why I didn't give him the villain trait. And he is like an interesting sort of... I feel like characters like this are a look at all those threads on Dacium Institute subreddit where they're like, why doesn't Starfleet have Marines? Why doesn't Starfleet have a standing military force? And it's like, because of characters like Layton.
Yeah.
And if you start going too far in the other direction, you start getting super paranoid, you start seeing enemies where they aren't there, you start doing false flag operations and all kinds of fucked up shit. So I feel like characters like him and his arc are interesting sort of pushbacks against that. So I wanted to give him something decent. He's not amazing, but like I don't like doing 200 rank voyages unless they're shit characters. I like most characters just fine. So
gambler? I suppose he was a gambler, wasn't he? And politician, maybe he was trying to play a bit of politics. So I could kind of see
he was trying to oust the president. I'd say that counts.
That's
he was playing the political game.
Jarish Inu. We haven't got him yet.
That's
a big one.
That's the one, actually.
Go on our Discord and recommend him.
Yeah, come on. Nice plug. Cool. Check them out. Okay.
Wait, I'm going to get paid this week?
Get paid? Carden, as played by the late, great Aaron Eisenberg. Thank you to No Namer for suggesting this one. We do need a legendary Kazon. There are not enough.
How about any Kazon worth a while? Like, I think we don't have any that are... The only 4-star one we have is like Kazon Seska, and she's not even Kazon.
No.
She's Kazon by association.
Oh, yeah. Kazon by...
No, I'm sure she has the Kazon trait, but like actually Kazon. And why not make it the actual best Kazon that we ever got? Because it's Aaron Eisenberg, so you immediately have like one of the best Trek actors we've ever had. And like he does a lot of interesting stuff in his episode. And he has a really interesting like dynamic with Chakotay. I felt like he needed something good and unique and a bit different, and you would actually use him, which is why I threw that hunter trait on him, because he does hunt down Chakotay in the contents of the episode, and that is a trait that pops up a lot on Voyages that people are like, well, who the fuck am I going to use for this? Am I going to use freaking Laris? Am I going to use him? Am I going to use General Chang? Like, there's not a lot of great hunter cards, so I wanted to make sure we actually had one. So,
Chuffed Captain. Chuffed Captain is a hunter.
Well, for those of us who don't throw millions of dilithium away on 6-packs, I only do that for war variants. Thank you very much.
There you go. Resolute Chakotay is a hunter? Did not know that.
Well, most Chakotays are, I think,
are
actually.
They? Oh, okay. Is that
because he has like the hunter-gatherer sort of skill set? Yeah,
that makes sense. But yeah. No,
oddly enough, even though he identifies as having anthropology skills, he's never a xenoanthropologist, but Burnham and Soji Asha both are.
Oh, see, name is already on it. He said he's the #1 hunter. He loves it. So yeah.
There we go. See, this I do try and keep in mind what people like with their cards when I try and make this. So if I know you well enough, I will craft it for you.
Just make it #1 Voyager with like all the traits, and name will be like yes.
Yes. My pixie dust, my nose candy.
Okay. Imprisoned Riker. This is hands down one of my favourite episodes of TNG, which is, and I've forgotten the name of it already.
Frame of Mind.
Frame of Mind. That is the one. Thank you. So thank you to El Marso for suggesting this one.
So this art would be essential to get right. And I feel like there's 2 ways you can do it.
Thank you, L-Dubs, for following us.
Live long and prosper.
Indeed, live long and prosper.
I'm gonna
yeah, there's like, yeah, so it doesn't flash on the screen quite like in like most obvious place. You'd have to have him either with his face in the window door. I feel like that would be one choice. But my personal pick for the art would be him fracturing, because when I think of this episode, I think of that visual and how cool it is, and how unlike Star Trek this entire episode is, and how weird it is and dark and surreal. It's so fun. And like I couldn't figure out a way to make him anything other than Dipset Command, because Rikers are just kind of like that. I could have maybe given him some med just because he's in a mental institute, but it would have been a bit of a reach. But then again, I don't work for WRG, so you know.
This is an episode that like. This is the only episode that if my wife ever said, in the unlikely event my wife ever said, oh, I want to watch some Star Trek, what could you recommend for someone of my taste? Like, she loves films that have a very much a sort of psychological bent. She loves like Shutter Island, or, you know, she does like Inception, or anything that's like very kind of like mentally thinky kind of things that I would definitely say, like, yes, let's watch Frame of Mind. This is absolutely your kind of stuff, but yeah, you'd have to get over the Star
This
Trek
is the gateway drug.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, well, they all like that, and you're like, no, none of them.
Yes, let's now watch Code of Honor. You could okay. If you could say like two episodes that are most jarring to watch from one to the other, I think like Frame of Mind to Code of Honor would definitely be up there.
In terms of like differences in content and still somehow being the same show, yeah, you're about right.
Yeah. But no, this is great. This is and you know, I'm a sucker for Riker variants. So is El Marto as well. I think we both wax lyrical about how much we love Rikers.
Riker is a cool guy. I feel like he gets like a little bit of a short shaft because everyone like adores either Kira or Spock because they are pretty like top tier first officers. But Riker is just such a solid and cool individual. Like he has natural cool, which is hard to actually make it come across. Like Jonathan Frakes is just like he's a really fascinating individual. Like I don't know if you ever listened to any of his director's commentaries.
No, I haven't actually.
He does himself no credit. He is constantly making fun of himself and saying, "Oh, that's horrible. Why did I do this shot? And who's that guy? Get him off the screen while Riker is full right now." But he's such good fun to have on like a commentary, and he's very insightful when it comes to film. Like that's why I'm so glad every time I see his name in the Discovery credits, or you know, he pops up in an interview. He's just such a good voice for Trek.
Is Jonathan Frakes just one of the most wholesome people in all of Trek? Really. Like, anytime he's directing or anytime he's talking with people or, like, you sort of see his interviews, he's just anything... It's just joy all around, really, isn't it?
I think he might be. I think there is a certain... Like, him and Rena Sirtis and, like, a lot of the TNG cast, there's that sort of... I don't know if it's, like, being touched by the Roddenberry grace or whatever it is, or just really believing in the show, but there is a certain, like... a feeling about them that it's just, like, they feel warm to be around. You know, they're very nice to...
That's what I think. And then sliding this to like Nepenthe being such a great episode for just kind of feeling comfortable is like, oh, these are the old characters I like, and it's Riker, and he's just being awesome. And can he be my dad? That would be great. Thanks.
I'll tell your dad about that.
Yeah, great episode. Okay, let's move on, and I'm going to have a quick re-break while you talk about this next one. Captain Rudy Ransom. There you go, all yours.
Thanks. So it has long been sort of floated that we need a hero mega, mostly by me, because I love the hero trait and I think it's really cool. And I think Otto has spoken specifically about how there are no crew that have both the hero and the villain trait. And I think that I can't think of almost any other captain or character really in all of Trek that kind of undergoes such a rapid yet believable transformation from villain to hero to back again, and then, you know, backwards and forwards as Ransom, because he is so few degrees separated from a Janeway or even a Picard, and yet he has such a hard time in the Delta Quadrant that he takes that step off the deep end. And I feel like Idol made fun of me for adding like a shit ton of traits to Burke, and I feel like I gave even more to Ransom. I didn't even add exobiology on here, even though he is stated in dialogue to be an exobiologist. But I wanted him to be a bit of a powerhouse, especially because I kind of imagined him as being like the centerpiece of an Equinox Mega. I feel like if you wanted to do a villain/hero Mega, populating it with Equinox crew would make a lot of sense.
Man, that's a lot of traits.
Hi, Idol.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello. How are you doing?
Did you thank Rev Damar for posting this one?
Oh, I didn't actually. No, thank you, Rev Damar. Like, I feel like they got in early on this because like a lot of people have been asking for Ransom in the game, and he is such a cool character.
Yeah.
And like, I'm really wondering if what is it, Jack Ransom from Lower Decks is related to him?
I thought there was some sort of off-canon thing that they might be, but I don't know if I dreamt that. I may have dreamt that.
Oh no, you're writing Lower Decks fanfic now.
Oh hell yeah! Don't. You can't stop me. No one can stop me. You don't have to read it, but you can't stop me. No, I like this episode. Yeah, the whole of Equinox is a great sort of interplay, like because Star Trek's always shown like Starfleet crews as being sort of above, being above morals, have been always stand up, but the sort of the polarity between Voyager and Equinox of showing like, oh, actually, this crew have been stranded out in the middle of nowhere, and they're doing everything they can to survive in maybe not the way Janeway would have done it, but or a typical Starfleet crew would have done it, and they're sort of a bit more lost. I thought it was very interesting that they kind of went, oh yeah, the caretaker sort of stuck another crew out here, but we're not really going to explain why. They're just here.
Well, yeah, because it's like, isn't it implied that like the caretaker was going to send them back when he was done, and they didn't get a positive reading, and then the only reason he didn't was because he was dying, and yet somehow Equinox is just like floating around. I'm not quite sure what the logic is there. Maybe the caretaker is just an asshole. Maybe that's within the realm of possibility.
So hang on, because I've never really thought about this, but why did the caretaker bring? Was it just to look after the Ocampa? Was that why the caretaker brought Voyager?
No. He was looking for biological samples. I think either to stabilize the Ocampa genome or to create someone who would be able to look after them when he was gone.
So he went to the Alpha Quadrant and found Janeway.
Well, he was stealing everything. I think he stole like a Cardassian ship. I think he stole the Equinox. He stole everyone.
Yeah.
Steal all the things. That's the caretaker's adage.
There's always a weird one. Yeah, the Equinox was just like they're just here, and that was sort of what was that, season 5?
End of season 5 into season 6. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yes,
it's the end of the two-parter.
Oh man, yeah.
Like it's such a good two-parter, and it goes a little bit too far in places, but in ways that are interesting rather than, and in ways that make sense. Like I could like Janeway is such an interesting and morally complex character that the thing that would get under her neck the most would be another Starfleet captain doing the things she didn't.
It's very much pot calling kettle black on that case, isn't it? So hang on, you're going to tell me about the Prime Directive? You?
Yeah, no.
I've read your logs.
And he even asks, like, have you ever broken the Prime Directive? Bent it a few times, broken it never. And I'm like, bitch. It's coming from the woman who says to hell with the Prime Directive and the temporal Prime Directive in the final episode. You do not get to say that.
Would you stand up in a court of law and say those words? I don't think so. Okay.
And what's the most traits on one crew? I believe it is either Mintark and Troy or Laborer Spock.
Yeah.
At like 14 or 15. I think Ransom is getting up there, so yeah.
Definitely. Okay. Fan favourite one next. It is Lieutenant JG Worf Common, suggested by me.
Suggested by you, not by me.
No, this was by me because I'm a personal fan of that early TNG season 1 aesthetic. Some terrible episodes. There were some good episodes, but also like it was very different from where TNG ended up, and I kind of like the tone of the season just for what it is. So we've got season 1 Geordi, we've got a season 1 Picard, season 1 Riker as well. It'd be nice to get the season 1 Worf.
The only one I think we're missing is actually Worf.
Yeah, because we've got Tasha, we've got Data,
we've got Wesley.
Yeah.
We don't have do we have a season 1 Crusher? We kind of do. The Green Crusher is kind of season.
Yeah, it's hard to do Crusher because she doesn't really have. She has the same unique outfit.
If we did make it now, the Polywater Crusher that I mocked up a little while, that's a season 1 Crusher.
Definitely.
So there wasn't much sort of like room for me to maneuver here because I figured, you know what, let's make him consistent. All the other TNG season 1 crew, I'm pretty sure, are grey, so it felt made sense to make him a common.
Geordie is 2-star.
Yes, but he's like the only one I think because like Riker, oh yeah, and Picard as well. So yeah, those two are the odd ones out for whatever reason. And not a lot of room to maneuver on terms of the traits as well. Like Worf is very let's be kind and say one-dimensional in those early seasons. They haven't worked out quite what to do with him yet. And his quote is from that great exchange in what is it? Lonely Among Us, when like him and Geordie are like doing that little bit of engineering work, and like he's also, so why are you doing this detail? And he's like, because Captain Picard wants his junior officers to learn.
It's a really strange scene, that, because it's in a lab we've never seen before, or ever see again. It's like a weird sort of opposite of engineering, isn't it? And like all of a sudden, like Worf's in there, and he's kind of like, it's the only times you actually see them kind of see Worf doing menial work. Really, he's just kind of like,
he doesn't really do a lot of engineering work, which is odd considering he is established to be, and he knows his engineering shit. And I think there's even a point in the Best of Both Worlds where Geordie is in engineering, and then Worf walks in with Riker doing a briefing, and says, "Just the man I want to see, Worf. You're the guy who knows the deflector systems best." And it's like, how, it's there's a point he would have to know. He'd have to know.
Bound to Fate, we do need Transport Chief O'Brien. We also need Con Officer O'Brien from Encounter Farpoint.
That's true. Yeah.
So he's that's another one. So thank you for that one, Bound to Fate.
Burning the midnight oil, O'Brien. Yeah.
Yes. Battle Bridge O'Brien. I think that'd be quite a good one.
That'd be good fun. I'd be agree with that. But see you later, Trey. Have a good get a load of sleep.
Done up.
But yeah, no, like I do want the art as well. Like I really like the way they captured, especially the aesthetic for Geordie. Like his art is super nice, like the shading and the way his red pops and like the shading on his like thing. I think they could do a good job here.
Yeah. Good news. How would they introduce a 1-star crew? I think they'd make him 2-star, but I don't.
They would make him a 2 or a 3-star when put him in an event nowadays. That's how they would do it.
You know, I've done Nightmare mode, and even now my Nightmare mode, my 1-stars are going into the freezer, and it's like, why? Why do they exist?
They exist from a different era of the game.
Yeah,
like this. I exist in a fantasy world in which like Grey Crew still come out.
In some alternative timeline. They're useful for something.
Some kind of parallel.
So our next one, you have skirted into the Kelvinverse here, and I kind of love it. And thank you to Racing Linus for suggesting Delta Vega Spock from the 2009 Star Trek movie. And I am 100% aboard for this.
So I originally had like a few sort of like set guidelines when I wanted to do Fate Crew, and that was I was only going to do canon crew because I wanted them to be crew that like would appear in game, and you'd be like, I know that thing, because I also like just talking about the episodes and where they come from. And I didn't want to do Kelvinverse crew because we don't have a license; they were never going to come in. But this is prime timeline Spock. This is Leonard Nimoy Spock. He is the Spock who was in TOS. So he gets a pass.
Yeah.
And also because no matter my feelings on the J.J. Abrams movies and like their continuity in the script, Leonard Nimoy was Spock to such a degree that no one could have made him mess up this portrayal. He was so effortlessly iconic and right in the role as someone who was like an elder statesman, but also still recognizably Spock, but also this is the same guy who hugged Kirk on like the bridge of a bird of prey and, like told him not in front of the Klingons. Like that human warmth that only people who know and love him get to see. Like he's such a multifaceted person by this point in his life. And that's why he has every fucking goddamn trait under the sun.
It's interesting because I was listening to the interview from Alex Kurtzman on the Star Trek podcast, and it's interesting because he talks about the interview they had with Leonard Nimoy to get him into Star Trek, and they sort of say they got him to the room and they explained it all and they laid it out, and they were really worried and like they he's going to dismiss it, or he's because he did, he's personally invested in Spock. He wants, he is this character that he wants to come along, and then apparently
he's the caretaker for the character, essentially. Yeah.
I think he sat there and something along the lines of, I can't quote it exactly, as when went, okay, I'm in, and they were just ecstatically thrilled and just went, yeah, I'm really invested. Like, let's do this, because I think I remember him saying, like Alex Kurtzman saying, like no one wanted to touch Trek. Or when they were doing the films, and also when he went on to do Discovery, like he just had this series no one else wanted to do. It's like, okay, let's go, let's do this way. So it's an interesting interview, but yeah, Voyager number 2.
I feel like he's warranted. Yeah. Like this is Spock at like his most wise and his most inspiring and his most influential. He essentially saves this entire timeline from destruction and the entire Federation. So it's like I feel like he's justified in being a bit overpowered. Like and not mention, it's this thing of like I remember when Braxton debuted, people were like, really, like a one-off character? Well, he was in multiple episodes, but a one-off character is the number 1 Voyager. Does that feel appropriate? And it's like no one would be unhappy to see a Spock at number 2.
I mean, we've literally just got that now. We've got Reunion. Spock and Kirk as number 2 Voyager, but yeah, I think talking about this variant, I think my favourite moment from any of the Kelvinverse films is from Beyond. Obviously, spoilers, but this Prime Spock's finally passed away, and he leaves to Kelvin Spock. We'll still call him because I can't remember the actor's name. Zachary Quinto.
Zachary Quinto.
Yes, that's right, Zachary Quinto. And he leaves the picture of all of like Kirk, Uhura, and everyone in the movies era, sort of like there's a promotional TV shot, but I kind of
it's on the bridge of the Enterprise A. It's that shot. It's like such a nice thing.
I loved he kept it, and I love they sort of like kept that link between the Prime universe here with this version of Spock. I thought it was great, especially after sort of Leonard Nimoy's passing as well.
Yeah, no, that entire sort of like it's kind of a birthday party, kind of a commemoration party for the Enterprise A, like the kind of almost, I guess, unless we get something else, the end of the Kelvinverse, that scene when they're watching it be constructed and they've got the picture and everyone's there. It's like I felt like that was a really nice, like, poignant end to that movie. Like Beyond this is such a well thought out and a bit of a love letter to the series. And I was like, you know what, I'll give it a pass and I'll allow one Kelvinverse tower as a treat because of how much I do have affection for certain aspects of it.
Okay, I think we've got two more to go through here, and then we will wrap it up. So next up, Sarah O'Brien. This is a weird episode. The Dal Rock.
It kind of doesn't really go anywhere, does it?
It doesn't make any sense either. Like none of it is explained. This is and thanks to Joshua Tree for suggesting this one as well.
Yeah, it's such a like because the A plot is this essentially where like he's trying to stop this Bajoran village from getting destroyed by this psychokinetic, psychosomatic Bajoran orb cloud. It's not quite clear
that they tell a story to and it goes away.
Yeah, it feels very TOS TNG and not necessarily in a great way. It feels a bit more sort of derivative. But that being said, Cole Meany makes anything work. Yeah. And O'Brien in general is just such a versatile character and such an everyman that it's like you see him struggling and you're like, God, sorry, Miles, I'm sorry you have to suffer through this. And you know what? I figured O'Brien doesn't have a ton of great variants. Let's give him a really good one. And I know I've been talking about how Dip Eng is like a bit of a stacked set. He would be a really good one. I feel like a lot of people would go kind of nuts for someone with these traits and double collections. And oh wow, this card has been mocked up so old. Costumed didn't used to be a collection when I made it.
Has that been that long? Oh my god! Wow.
I just got the expansion. It's like he's wearing the Bajoran costume, and it's like, wow, yeah, he'd be really valuable.
So in fact, he's great. 3 collections, costume inspiring, jury rigger. He's fucking brilliant. Bring it on. Interesting, you gave him Bajoran. I think you'd have taken that off now, wouldn't you? After
no, I don't think I would
after Burnham not getting Romulan Vulcan, you still bitter about that? Or
well, guess what? I'm bitter about it because it doesn't make sense for her not to. So I would give all the characters I feel like it's appropriate to. Like I saw people talking on Discord about it, and they said, there are probably some variants of Burnham that should count as Vulcan. And I'm like, yeah, some of them probably should. If you're gonna make like Determined Paris culturally Klingon, and almost every variant of Cisco is biologically, culturally Bajoran, like you got to be a bit more flexible and give it where it's due, where they're a part of enough of the culture or assuming a part in that culture that give them the credit, man. Let them be this thing, let them enjoy it.
Thinking about it, all Cisco's really should be profits, because he is half profit, isn't he?
Yeah, technically speaking, he should be. Yeah. That's a good point, actually. I hadn't considered that.
I just thought of it just now when we were talking about it, but yeah, he should be half profit. Your mummy was a space alien. No, I would like to see this.
Yeah, no, I think there's not enough good. Like, what's the other good O'Brien variant? RAF, and he's like 5 years old.
You've got Falcon as well, and 1701's decent-ish. Mind you, it's a 2-skill.
Well,
Augur Commander, not a great lot. Certainly
Let's get some good O'Briens. He's like the cornerstone of what makes DS9 work. Yes. God damn it! Yeah. Both metaphorically and literally.
Okay. Last one for tonight. Last one. The weirdest one that came up with. Thank you for It's the Taxman. Hirogen Captive Kim from the two-parter, The Killing Game, I believe.
So I feel like this one is actually a decent pull because we have every other Killing Game variant of a crew apart from the mobile dock, but that one's hard to do because he doesn't wear anything else. And this is one of those rare moments that Harry gets to shine. Like, every time it happens, you've got to call it out because it doesn't happen often. And I wanted to give him, another good card, because, Teresian Kim sucks, and, Deltafly Kim is okay. The art's better than the card, and Buster Kincaid was good, and now he's just a collection piece. And it's give Harry Kim better cards. So he kind of functions as a bit of a discount, like Prisoner Kim in the Super Rare division. Tell me, Idol, can you tell me where his quote comes from?
I was wondering about that.
Okay, so this comes from when he goes into the holodeck, and everyone apart from Janeway and Seven are still believing that they're in the holodeck and that they're 1940s characters. And Combat Medic Paris comes around the corner and he holds them up at gunpoint, and he's like, "Hey, I'm American like you," and it's like, okay, prove it.
Yes, no.
If Betty, I think if Betty Grable walked around those that corner, what part of her body would you be staring at? And Kim is thinking about it because he's sure that Thomas told him this, and he's like, "Are you taking too long?" And he says, "Legs. I'd be staring at her legs." And he's like, "Right answer." And it's that's the moment I wanted to zero in because I think that's a fun Tom and Harry moment. I like their friendship, and I feel like that justified itself.
No, that'd be a cool one. More traits. Do you think Crafty?
Give traits.
Crafty.
Well, yeah, because he was helping undermine the holodeck stuff.
I suppose I
helped blow it higher.
I think you could have Crafty or Saboteur. Maybe not both. Maybe, I don't know.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If you sabotage something, are you not being crafty?
I am, but I'm wondering how many saboteurs in the game that we have, because Irina, I think, is also she's only a saboteur, but she is saboteur crafty. Okay, now prove me wrong there.
Braxton as well, I believe, is also crafty saboteur.
You might be right here. Hang on. Linchpin of it all. Okay, Anthony and Assassin is also saboteur crafty. Why not just make them the same trait? It's essentially kind of the same.
Because one can saboteur
crafty. Okay,
one can be crafty and not a saboteur, but one cannot be a saboteur without being crafty.
Okay, yeah, no, Dinesh is also a crafty saboteur. They're all crafty saboteurs.
Vindication!
Okay, alright, I'll give you that one. Hang on, what? Ensign Picard is crafty. He's a crafty, but he's not a saboteur. There you go.
There you go. See, that's the distinction.
No, that'd be a cool one. Oh. Well.
Yeah, no, and Behardy points that you can see him thinking boobs or legs, and it's this really great moment where you can see Garrett Wang okay, what would Harry be thinking here? He'd be thinking legs,
legs. Think about her legs.
Grab her legs.
Her legs. Love it. Well, there is football on tonight. Who knows? Could have been watching football. My wife is out watching football, and I'm in here doing this. What's going on?
England. Are you sure you're in the right marriage?
No, that's a whole different ballgame. Thank you everyone for coming tonight. We've had a fun show. We've been going on for 2 hours, which is good. We will be back on Twitch So we'll be moving from YouTube to Twitch. If you missed the start of the show, yes, we will be there. So please follow above, twitch.tv/timelinestalks. Go and follow, because we'll be going back to there. Yes, point, hands in the air. Come join the Discord. We can do some suggestions. Now we're actually doing them. And this Saturday, our first show back on Twitch will be our Star Trek Adventure stream with Stars here, GMing, which I'm really looking forward to. I think I've assigned myself up to being Bones McCoy, so we're going to have an original series theme.
Let me putting on the accent. I need to hear the accent.
Oh God. No, I can't. I'm not even going to do it.
I'm not going to make you. Not after how well Trip went down.
Oh God, I'm gonna have to clip that, aren't I? So that'll be that. Next week as well on Wednesday we'll be doing next week on Wednesday will be Prime Lines Talks, where we'll be having some of our female representatives.
I get a week off.
Yay! Lucky for you. You're not getting paid for it. I'm docking this. This is not unpaid holiday.
No fun.
No, so I believe we're going to be having some of our female representation come onto the show and have a chat with us and talk about what their thoughts are on the game. We'll see a few familiar faces we've had on before. Come to the Discord. We've got the full schedule of the weeks ahead. We've got some more Armada, some more Timeline Talk, some more fun things we're going to be doing. And yeah, I think that's us for this week. And we will see you next week. Oh no, we'll see you Saturday, and then we will see you next week. So from me, bye-bye. From Stars.
Bye-bye.
And waving on the bike. See you later.